Hello and welcome to a basic guide on artificial intelligence. The aim of this guide is to help you to understand some of the terminology that's used around the topic of artificial intelligence. My name is Osi Ejiofor and I am an education technologist for United Learning. And here's what we're going to be covering today. We'll be answering the question, what is AI? What is machine learning? What is generative AI? What are large language models? What is prompting? So, what is AI? AI can be looked at in two main categories. One of those categories is referred to as weak AI, or also called narrow AI. And narrow AI is AI that focuses only on a specific task. So there is AI sat behind websites such as Skyscanner. So if you're planning flights to go to another country, you would go onto the website, you would check the price of the flight, you would go and find your passport details, and you would do a few other comparisons. And then by the time you're ready to pay for that flight, when you've clicked onto the next page, it has gone up in price. There is AI that sits behind that website that adapts the price according to demand. So that is a singular task focused artificial intelligence at work. Very frustrating. However, when we think of narrow AI, we don't always think about examples such as Alexa or Siri, or even the technology behind what makes driverless vehicles possible. These are all examples of narrow AI. The other branch of AI is strong AI. And there are two subcategories of strong AI. One of those is general artificial intelligence, and that is intelligence that matches the ability of a human being. So currently, in regards to what we have through weak AI, the AI is not able to empathize or reason in the way that a human would. But general artificial intelligence should be able to do that. It would match the intelligence of a human being. And the second branch is artificial super intelligence. And this is a type of intelligence that exceeds that of a human being. Both artificial general intelligence and artificial super intelligence are still only in their theoretical stage. They do not exist beyond the paper that it's written on. They could potentially be achieved with the advancements of the current AI that we have and the advancements in computer science. So prior to watching this video, you may have thought to yourself that ChatGPT would go on the side of strong AI. However, as advanced as it is, it still belongs on the side of weak AI because it is a narrow focus and it does not match the intelligence of human beings in its current form. So one of the next terminologies you often hear when it comes to artificial intelligence is machine learning. So what is machine learning? Well, machine learning is a subset of artificial intelligence. And within machine learning, you have something referred to called neural networks. And you also have deep learning. So machine learning is a branch of AI. What happens is data and algorithms copy the way humans learn to gradually improve. When we think of examples of this, we can think of computers that are able to play chess or the game Go. So generative AI utilizes what's called a neural network, or neural networks plural. So generative AI is a type of artificial intelligence that can produce content such as text, imagery, audio, and also synthetic data. That is data that doesn't previously exist but is collated or manufactured through the computation of the AI. For example, asking the AI to generate specific code in a coding language, that code may not have existed previous to your input, but based on your input, the computer has synthesized a new set of data. Content can be created from source information such as the internet or other user input sources. For example, taking online articles on Shakespeare to generate a report on the bard's work. Or, for example, redrafting a letter that you have written and inputted into the AI and asking it to adapt the format or the voice of the letter that you've typed. So it is generating an output based on your input. And it does that utilizing neural networks. These datasets can train the AI to generate a synthetic output. This means that it generates content that did not previously exist based on the data that it has learned. Simply said, a neural network can be broken down into a calculable function. For example, input, logic, and then output. So the input would be what you are presenting to the algorithm. The logic will be the type of decision tree that the algorithm will process. And then the output is based on that specific function. So these functions are referred to or described as neurons. And the more functions you have, the more complicated they are, and the way in which the structure is set up is what is referred to as a neural network. For more information on neural networks, visit techtarget.com or click the link in this presentation. Large language models, or LLMs, is another term that you may have heard when it comes to artificial intelligence. And the area of artificial intelligence that deals with large language models is deep learning, which again is a subset of machine learning. Large language models is a deep learning algorithm that can perform a variety of natural language processing tasks. So that means that the user can input their information as a human would communicate to another human. So it can understand that language and then apply the computation of the neural network to give a specific output. These are also referred to, as stated before, as neural networks. These large language models can be trained, for example, to write software or code and many other tasks. If you'd like to find out more about large language models, visit elastic.co/what-is/large-language-models or click the link in the presentation. And finally, we are more familiar with the user interface of websites such as Bard or ChatGPT. There are many others who are emerging that are utilizing large language models in order for users to adapt, generate, or create content. So prompting is the input of information into a large language model that will process that data and produce an outcome. The outputs are based on two main factors. One being the quality of the data that's input. How specific is the information that you are putting in as a prompt? And also, the other restriction is the quality of the data that the LLM is drawing from. So certain large language models have access to the full internet. Other large language models have access to a specific data set that you have pointed the AI towards. And whether it's the internet or the information that you've provided, there is scope for incorrect data and biases within data that will skew the output of the large language model. And these are things that should be considered. I will share some worked examples of approaching prompting in a way that could be beneficial to you as a teacher in the next video.